Oh, okay. So again, I've opened up my previous template document that has the MLA format that we were discussing right before we left last class. And today we're going to talk about, I'm sorry, it's like I'm rehashing because of the video. Today I'm going to talk about making the tables for our paper. So the first table you need to write about is your needs assessment. It's basically you're writing down what kind of system you need. Maybe you need a printer. You're looking for to connect to the internet. So if I say connect to the internet, what would that be? Wi-Fi maybe, right? So I'm going to kind of make a table today, and let me draw the table on the board. Let me draw the table on the board. So I'm going to talk about how to make tables. Again, we're going to have rows that go across. These are called rows. Then I'm going to have a column going down. Column going down. Notice this top one has a single row with no column. We're going to enter a table and we're going to combine this together into one. You can combine and remake tables into a kind of a grid pattern. In addition, where the rows and columns come together, that's called a cell. Okay, that's on the test. Remember that one for the test. Write that down for your test. Where rows and columns come together into the square area, it's called a cell. Okay? In addition, we're going to have lines in our tables that will be called borders. The lines that go around, borders. We can color our cells. We're going to do colors of our cells. Right? And so I'm going to put my title up here. Needs assessment. If I can spell assessment right, I don't know. Am I going to make the title of my table 16-point text? No, everything stays 12. I don't want to see big, small, big, small. Nobody wants to see text going like this. All 12 points. You can make it bold, though, if you want. Remember, you can do bold and italic, but don't change the size. Okay? Okay, so we're going to do something like this. Again, we will say connect to internet, and we'll put over here. Wi-Fi. What do they call it in Europe? Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi. Okay. And I might put over here print documents. What I might put over here? Printer. Maybe color printer if I want a color printer. So your needs assessment is basically you're listing the things that you want to do and maybe what you need. Right? I want to do this. What do I need to do that? Right? Simple as that. Okay, so let's try that. So I'm going to find an empty spot kind of down below a little bit. So maybe, and it can be in between your documents, right? It doesn't need to be, you don't put all the tables in one, all together. Throughout your paper, you might write about, I need a system because I'm in college. I need to type up papers and hand them into my instructor. And things like that. So you would write about that and then put the needs assessment probably, I would say, towards the beginning. Then you might write about the type of system you think you might like. Then I might do the system requirements. Then you start writing a little bit more about, hey, I like Macs, but Windows are a lot cheaper. Then you might do a comparison table. And then after you do your comparison table, you might say, well, the Apple might be more expensive, but the Windows, but it might meet my needs better because it might last a little longer than the Windows system, and then you do your final table in the paper at the end. Does that make sense? Something like that. Okay, so here we go. Let's do our what did I just say? Needs assessment. So I might hit return. So here's one of the problems. What do you see right now? The little cursor flashing where? Not to the edge. Your table should go all the way to the 1-inch margin. So if you hit a return, it is a paragraph break, so it automatically indents it a 1/2 inch, right? So to remove that, you can hit the delete key and it goes all the way there. So before you insert your table, I would hit the delete key so that my cursor is flashing all the way to the edge of the 1 inch. Did you see how I did that? Right? Okay, let's insert the table. Now, I'm going to kind of guess how many rows and columns I need. You can add more and subtract them as we go along. So don't stress if you say, oh, you know, I added 4 rows and I really wanted 5. You can add one later. The other problem you're going to run into is if my table goes over the pages like this, how do I deal with that? Okay, so we'll get to that when we get to that. When we cross that bridge. Is that a term, cross that bridge? Where's my cursor flashing? I lost. Oh, here it is. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to insert my table by going underneath the Insert Table option. Here we go. Let's talk about the pull-down menu again. You can draw a table by putting your cursor over these boxes to draw. You can go to Insert Table and type in how many, or you can actually go to this thing and draw a table. I don't really use that. I tend to use this because I'm used to programming. When I program HTML or something like that, I need to make tables. I tend to program a table, so that's why I tend to use this sometimes. Or you can do the visual drawing up there. How I do a visual drawing is I drag my mouse over top of that. So I'm going to drag my mouse. Again, I want at least two columns and maybe about 5 or 4. I'm going to do 5 rows. Don't worry, we can add and remove them. And I'm going to hit the mouse and it'll insert a table. Notice the first thing that happens when you insert a table is the cursor flashing in the first cell. Remember that box is called a cell. See, it's flashing in there. Cell, it's flashing, flashing. So what we want to do before is we're going to give our table a kind of a title in here. So we're going to combine these cells. The term is combine the cells into one cell. And that way we're going to have one long row that goes all the way across so that my text is in the center here. So how we combine the row is you need to select the row. Okay, you can do the right mouse click. It's basically the easiest way to do it. So we're going to do a right mouse click on here. To do a right mouse click, I'm going to select them all, this whole row here. So let's put our cursor around the edge. You'll see your cursor changes. Let me just do this first so you can see how things are selected. As I move my cursor, if we want to select the entire table, notice there's like a little plus in the upper left corner. See it right here? It's like a little plus right here. Do you see that? If I click on that, it selects the entire table. Did you see that? So if you want to select everything in your table, you click on this little plus thing in the upper corner here. Okay, if you want to select everything in a column, and I'm going to click off right now, click off. If you want to select everything within a column, notice how my cursor is along the top up here. See the cursor up the top? Notice sometimes it points down. See how it's pointing down? I can click on that and it should select everything that goes down that column. Do you see that? So especially if I want to color the entire column there, it's a certain color. See how I can select the entire column? See how my cursor is right here? It's pointing down. Same with this one over here. I can put my cursor here and point down as well. See that? If I want to make my table bigger or smaller, notice there is a, just like on a picture, didn't we insert a picture before? Notice how I put my cursor along the edge here. I can scale it bigger or smaller, but tend not to do that because if you go over your column, that doesn't look right. See that? That's not right. See that? You don't want your table looking like that. So I'm going to undo that. If you make a mistake, remember in Word, there's always an undo. Up here next to the little diskette icon, there is a little arrow that points down. It says undo table. If you click on that, it'll undo it. So again, you can select and scale a table bigger or smaller, but I want it to be all the way across like it is now. So I'm just pointing it out what you can do. Next, if you want to select the entire row, usually it used to have an arrow over here. It doesn't seem to be giving me an arrow over here. But you'll notice, did you see that? I did click here and it did select the entire row. So I don't know, for some reason the arrow is not really pointing over, but if I click there, do you see how it made it all blue there? Yours doesn't make it all blue there? Look at where my cursor is at. It is here. Is it all blue? Okay. So here we go. We're gonna combine it together using the merge cells. So to merge cells, you can right click again, and where it says merge cells, what that'll do is it'll merge those. So again, the same spot I was just at. Here we go. See my cursor is right here outside of the cell. Right click, merge cells. It'll combine it. Now look, the line is gone. So again, right click right there, merge cells. You have this all one now. Now what do you think we're going to do? We're going to click inside here and make sure our text is centered and type in needs assessment. Here we go. So how do I center my text? I'm going to click inside here. You'll notice the cursor still flashing in the left side, but we want it in the center. Where do we center our text? Well, underneath home right here. See where it says home here? You'll notice there is a center option right here. See, center text, just like we did before when we were making the flyer. If I click on that, boom, it puts the text in the center of the cell. Then we can type in needs, oops, if I spell needs right, needs assessment, A-S-S-E-S-S-M-E-N-T, is that assessment? Something like that. Okay, so see if you can make that happen. I will come and make sure that if you want it to be on the left side, if you have it here, you can click on there, you can have it on the left. I kind of like it on the left side. Left side, left side, left side, left side. Notice how I'm clicking, they're all on the left side. I don't know why that one was in the center. Okay, so what are we doing here? We're going to have so my first need is that I'm going to school, I need a computer on the go. How about that? We say computer on the go. And you can write like that if you would like. This is not an English class. In this, if you write it, though, the normal written part should be in good sentences or properly punctuation. But for the cells, you can kind of, it doesn't have to be proper sentences. You could just do things like this, right? Because, you know, I need a computer on the go. What do you think I'm going to put over here? Laptop. Okay. My need is I need a computer to go. I'll go somewhere, right? Okay, so what else do I need? How about if I edit videos? Maybe I'm a person who shoots videos and I want to edit video. Edit videos. So what else would I need? Well, I need a powerful laptop. How about that? What do you mean by powerful? Well, one that has a lot of RAM, hard drive, memory. Yes, I don't know. Or large, or something like that. I don't know. I'm just the way you word it is okay here. What else did we need? Oh, internet connection. Internet connection. And so, of course, I would need what in my laptop? Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. And what else would I need? Maybe print documents. Documents. And so I might buy myself a printer. Oh, I want maybe print color documents. Maybe that. Maybe you like, because I'm doing pictures and color documents, and I'm saying color printer. There we go. That looks pretty good. But I probably have maybe one more need. Right? And maybe I have a need that I need to, what would another need be? Give me another need. What would you use a computer for? Connecting to the internet, research, something like research. Oh yeah, I kind of like that. I need to do business calculations. How about that? And then I might put Excel over here, right? Okay, but I don't have a cell for that. How do I add a cell? So here we go. How do I add another row here, which I don't have a row to this? Well, we'll add another row. Okay, so to add another row, you can simply use the right mouse click, and you can go to where it says Insert, and you say Row Below. So I just right-clicked on the last one. I'm on the last one here because I want to do it under Row Below. Right here. So I'm in the last one here. Right-click in this one. I'm going to go to where it says Insert, and you'll notice there's some in here. You see column to the left, column to the right, rows above, rows below, cells and tables. Well, I don't want to put a new cell in there. I don't want a new table. How about we do a row below? That makes more sense. We want one underneath here. And boom, it puts it in there. See how it makes another one underneath it. Okay? Yes?
You just hit tab as well. If you're at the end of the data.
The very last column, you mean?
If you're a color printer, just hit tab and
Mm-hmm.
well, it will.
If I didn't have one.
Yeah.
I understand what you're. He's saying if we had it at the very end there and you hit tab, it would do the same thing. Okay. So let's what are we gonna do? We said what did we spreadsheets? We wanted to do what? Business calculations. Business stuff. How about we do that? Business stuff. And we want what? Excel. Our favorite. Okay, I think the air conditioning's cranked up because we get the photo shut. Okay, let's color our table. It's nice and ugly right now because it's black and white. Wouldn't it be nice if I had color? Now, be careful when you're adding color not to add like super saturated stuff. I don't want to see pink text on green background. Pink text on green background is hard to read. Should be something easy for somebody to read. Can I bold this if I wanted to? Yes, you can bold that if you want. So you might want to bold that. Let's do that first. Here we go. So I come over here. I can click inside my text here, and I can go to where it says B for bold right here under Home. B. Boom. Oh, make sure it's all the text. You might highlight the whole thing and say B for bold. I don't want one word and the other one not. Okay. Let's say we wanted the whole cell to be one color. Again, remember you can click over here. I want the top row to be one color. I'm going to click on that. See how I click right here? And to change the color of this, you'll notice there is a little marker right here. Again, I'm under Home. There is a little marker right here. Text highlight. Oh no, that's text highlight. Where's the background color? Where's the bucket? Which one? Oh, this one right here? Shading, thank you. The bucket. I need my bucket list here. Okay, so let's click either, you can click here, or if you click on the pull down menu, it gives you your wonderful color list, right? And usually I choose the top ones. Don't do super saturated things. These are really saturated. These are kind of unsaturated. Or if you want to make your own color, remember there's more colors here. Do you remember that? I think we did a discussion about more colors, didn't we? If I click on the more colors, what does it come up with? Whoosh. The RGB slider or this one right here. You can slide the color here. You can drag the color there. You can go here and you can drag the color there, there, there. You got this way you got this one right here. You have this one right here. Whoosh, spectrum color here. Then you have this one here. It's the crayons. Look at that. Just like when you were a kid. Imagine this is like virtual crayon box here, isn't it? Virtual crayon box. So when I click here and I dial, this is a dial here. Okay, how many colors can I choose from in this box? How many colors are in this box? The circle? It's close. It isn't a millions. How many millions? No, close. Higher. Very close. Higher. You're getting warmer. Lower. 16 million colors in this box, okay? 16 million colors in that box. Okay. Variation. Now your eye can't see 16 million colors. So just putting out, again, let's choose something that's kind of light. Light. Then I'm going to go all the way up here to nice light green, puke green. There we go. That looks nice. That's yellowish green. Oh, and I do have the confirmation again. I think I told you of the field trip, right? October 4th. They're ready for you. Jim is his name at there. He's very nice. If he's there, he's usually there. He'll give you a nice introduction when we get there. Okay, let's color some more tables down here. Now, when you're coloring tables, usually sometimes they do like one color, then a different color, then another color. So try and keep consistent. One way to go about it might be to color. If you want to color and select cells, another way to select them is to hold the left mouse down. So watch how I do this first, and then you try. Again, I'm going to put my cursor in this cell, and I'm going to hold the left mouse down and drag down. See how I selected all of them right there? Again, I just click on one, drag down. So I'm going to color this one a nice light color, and then I'm going to color this one a nice light color. Maybe something like that. Oh, you can barely see it, but there's color on my monitor. You know, you can do that. Or another way to go about coloring cells might be to go across. Where you go across, this might be one color going across like that, and then this might be a different color, and then this might be the same color as previous one, and then this one might be a color, and then this one might be a color. Oh, this is a little bit different, isn't it? Okay, so sometimes they have tables like that where this is one, that way you can differentiate. See how you can easily see the difference between them like this? That's a very common way of coloring a table, is to do it like this. Or if you're differentiating between the two sides like I did the first time where you have color on one and color on the other, it's up to you. But how you want to emphasize your table is up to you. So here we go. Let me do this one. I'm going to change this top one again. I don't like this one. Again, I'm going to click here. I like that ugly green. How about I give it a nice light gray? That looks better. Kind of gray on my screen. These colors on these monitors are not very good. Is this wiggling a little bit? Or is it my eyes? Is it wiggling? You think it's wiggling? I don't know. Maybe it's my eyes. So let me see your colors real quick. Don't be so dark. It's hard to read the text. Lighter green. That's okay. You got color. You make me beautiful ones. No pink. Okay, let's move on. Now, I'm not going to do the system requirements. You can probably figure out how to do that. What would I include, though? I'm going to just talk about it. So, what were the system requirements? You might list. Yeah.
High processing and
So, if it says high processing, maybe what kind of Intel processor?
i7.
i7, maybe, right? Or something like that. Or maybe since I said video editing, what would I need? Large hard drive, right? Large hard drive would be, so you might say for system requirements, video editing on one side, and then large hard drive, or something like that on the other side, right? So I would make a table that's similar to this, with just like two columns.
For me, is it alright if it's one column? Like I just thought, like my needs assessment, I need something portable, compact, long battery life, run offense. As long as it's a table, right? That feels like it's getting a little bit closer to the system requirements. That's
fine, as long as it's in a table.
Yeah.
As long as it's a table. Yep.
How many tables do we need?
You need 4 tables. So you need needs assessment, system requirements, comparison table, and then your final table. So we're going to jump. I figured you could figure out the system requirements one. Let's jump to the comparison table. Okay, so how do I do a comparison table? So I have a lot of students who do, Mac or Windows, or both Mac or both Windows. I don't really know. It's up to you. So I might do it this way. You don't have to do it exactly the way I do it. You can do it the way you want. As long as I see that you compared one computer and another computer, and you had the price. Right? There's no need to compare if you don't tell me how much it costs, right? Okay, so make sure you put a price in there. So we're going to do comparison table, and again, probably going to do it So I might put type system, and I might put Mac, Pro, or Windows, Surface Pro, something like that, right? Because I wrote down I like video editing, so I'm going to get a MacBook Pro. If I'm not doing video editing, I just want something to surf on the internet, I might get what kind of Mac laptop? Air, right? Like a Mac Air or something like that, right? But if I'm going to do some video editing or heavy crunching of numbers, I might get myself a little bit more powerful Mac. Same with the Windows, right? You got Windows Surface Pro, and so on. So I might do something like that. So you might say computer type or whatever, and then you might put down size. That's probably one of the important things, right? This might be a 15-inch, and this might be 17-inch, right? Because they have different sizes, right? Usually you measure the monitor or the size diagonally across the screen, right? I don't know if you ever knew that, but that's when they say inches. They usually measure from one side to the other, like this, not across, but diagonally. Then you might put down, what else would I get in my computer? Maybe hard drive. And you might put down, 1 terabyte SSD. And then this might be, 500 gigabyte. I know you might not know what these words mean. We're going to learn. I'm just teaching you how to make the table right now. We will learn what SSD stands for and what GB stands for. Great Britain, right?
Game Boy.
Game Boy, there you go.
Filthy American.
So, my whole point here is this is kind of the type of table I'm looking for you to build. And I have students that do like 3 or 4 computers. So you don't have to do, you should do at least 2 because you're comparing, right? And it doesn't have to be Windows to Mac. You can do 2 Macs, right? You do 2 Windows. Try not to do like an iPad or a Chromebook, unless you really think Chromebook is what you want. Remember, it is your need. If you think Chromebook is what you want, maybe 2 Chromebooks, maybe a Surface Pro and a Chromebook.
Isn't the point of this paper to find out if the Chromebook is what you want?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could do a Chromebook if you really want. You need to list the parts and stuff. The downfall of the Chromebook, though, is that you're stuck with Android, right?
That was a bad thing, or you're
Chrome, right?
Well, Chrome is Android.
Chrome's the operating. It's not actually. They don't actually run Android, right?
No, I don't know. Isn't it Android?
Chrome.
Just Chrome?
I
thought it was Android too. I thought you could put apps on there. You can't put apps on a Chromebook?
Through Chrome, you can. I think.
You can download it through the Chrome.
I don't know. You guys used Chromebook in high school, didn't you, or middle school?
No, I was graduating in high school.
I don't know. Whatever. I thought you could put Android on a Chrome. That's all. Okay, so let's build this table. I'm going to go down a little bit, find some more space. Here we go. Remember, if I hit return, where's my cursor? It's not in the right spot, is it? No. I'm going to hit this button right here. Oh. No, look, it's not going over all the way. Why not? What is happening? Oh, hit delete on the keyboard. Remember, you want your table to start on the edge. On the edge. Okay, everybody ready to make their comparison table? Remember, we didn't do the system requirements. You can make that up yourself. Okay, here we go. Let's insert a table. Go into Insert, Table. I'm going to do at least three columns and like 7 rows for now. Remember, you can always add and subtract and multiply later. So insert another table. Remember, it's under Insert. So let's just make some things up so we can learn a little bit more about table making, if that's a word, table making. Again, the first row in there, I'm going to smish together. What is the term to smush all the cells together? What's the word? Merge them. We're going to merge the cells together. To merge them, I'm going to click right here in the corner and right click there and say merge cells. Merge cells. And it's going to, look at that, it puts them all together, just like we did before. Remember, this is going to put my cursor in there. I'm going to center that. And we're going to do comparison. Is it I-S-O-N or S-I-O-N? Comparison. Table. Oh, was it I-S-O-N? There we go. Comparison table. Yeah. Yeah. I went to Catholic church, Catholic school. My English teacher was Sister Rita. She taught me lots and lots of stuff about religion, but not a lot of good English. I didn't read. She still teaches today too, Sister Rita. Yeah, she does. No, but I do get letters from the Alumni Association about Sister Rita. Okay, so this column that's over here doesn't need to be this big. Okay, it's kind of big, but it doesn't need to be this big. Okay, so what I can do is I can put my cursor right here. Do you see how I put my cursor in the cell there? And I can actually move it around. So you can move them. See how I can move them around? I'm going to kind of shrink that down a little bit because this is just going to be, and I'm going to type in computer type. Uh-oh, did you see what happened? It kind of just jumped down to the second line. Because it didn't fit in that cell. So you're going to have that issue of the words not fitting, which tends to look kind of funny, doesn't it? Because there's a lot of space between the word computer and type, right? So there's a couple ways of getting around this, okay? Some ways of getting around this is, can I adjust the line spacing for my table? Yes. For this paper, you could adjust your line spacing for this table if you like. What would that entail? Well, you can actually click on, and here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to adjust the line spacing for the entire table by highlighting all the columns, going to my line spacing option, and I'm going to go back to 1. That looks a little better. So you can vary certain aspects within the table if it's going to make it clearer. Maybe I'll go to 1.15. That looks better. I tend to like left align. If you want, you can actually put your cursor in there and hit the center if you would like as well. It's okay. That or this is acceptable. Sometimes you could do this as well, but not in this table. I tend not to do that. But maybe if I'm doing certain things. Remember, when we get to Excel, when we're doing things like numbers, they're going to be on the right side, and words are going to be on the left side. Have I used Excel before? We're going to be doing lots of Excel coming up next week. Ooh, you're going to love it. Excel is your friend. Who's a business major? All right, so if you're gonna hopefully you love Excel because you're going to be looking at it the rest of your life. Just pointing it out. Okay, again, I'm going to leave mine like this because I like it. Okay, remember we're going to do, what were we doing? MacBook Pro. And you can center that if you want, maybe. That's okay. I like this left align and center. You can vary it. You are not stuck with having to have everything. You can make it look visually the way you think it's. The most important thing is that the people can read and understand what is in the table. using color, using alignment, using bolding of text. Just don't change the size, right? You can move things around, whatever is visually easy to read, and it's common sense, right? Hey, does that look like I can understand what's in that table properly, right? It's very common sense. And then what we're going to do over here, Surface Pro, right? Windows Surface Pro. Oops, Surface. You are Surface Pro. Surface? Yeah, okay. And we can center that. And we can move this too if we want to make it look a little better. There we go. Look at that. Does that look great or what? Looks good. Okay, so we got a Windows Surface Pro and a MacBook Pro. Okay, so let's go and start with our, what do we have? The first one was what? Hard drive? Or no, size, right? We want to pick a size of a computer, right? So we're going to say, would it be monitor size or laptop size? I think we're doing, how about we do laptop size? Laptop size. And so let's just go and price some. Let's go and do a little bit comparison right now. We'll do a couple different ones. Today we're going to let's just do, how about today we're going to do just the store-bought ones, and then next class we'll get into a little bit more detail with when we build our own, right? So let's do some store-bought ones today. So what is the best way to do a store-bought one? Go to the store website. How about that? So let's go to the internet, and we'll go to Apple. Whoosh. Look at this, iPhone XS. Probably what, over $1,100 at least, right? Anybody see how much it is? Almost 2,000 for a phone? Wow.
I mean, it gets to a point where they're just more than
Wow.
an iPhone X. That was a big
I guess you don't probably have to really order a pizza. It probably orders it for you, right? You don't even have to say it. You just think it in your brain. You say, I wish I had a pizza in your brain, and boom, it just shows up. There you go. Wish I had a pizza. Okay, I'm going to go to where it says Mac. That's where you, so if you go to the Apple website and you want to buy a computer, you go to Mac. The type of Mac I'm looking for is the MacBook Pro, right here. Remember, they do have other ones too, and again, this comes down to your needs assessment. Just like I was saying before, if you're not video editing and you're just hanging out, looking, surfing the internet, using basic software and things like that, you can get the Air. It's nice, it's light, it's fluffy, light and fluffy. Yeah, it's nice and light. That's why it's called an Air. Or even this MacBook, you know, it's just a basic computer, great for surfing the internet. But the, you know, the problem with these and why they're a little cheaper is that, you know, the hard drives are a little smaller usually, and the processors are usually more inexpensive processor. So they're a little slower. So when I say inexpensive processor, it means you cannot crunch the numbers as fast, especially when you're video editing. I do a lot of video editing. And when I'm done editing the video, I have to make a final video or render it, and I have to sit there and wait for the computer to calculate all that. Okay, so that's why I tend to use the MacBook Pro. I love the iMac and the iMac Pro. That's like what you have in front of you now. Great desktop system. Maybe you don't need a system that goes on the go. Maybe you just want one to sit on your desk. Be nice at your desk at your house, right? And then, you know, you come home, you sit there, you can watch a movie on there, put your Netflix on there, kick back on your sofa and watch a little movie, do a little work. They got bigger ones too. They got these really big 5K monitors, super high resolution. My office at Zircon has a 4K monitor, nice big 27-inch. My office here at West Valley, big 27-inch. My other classroom in the Silker building over there, in their Mac room over there, 27-inch computers. Very nice. It's big, you can see well. Right? So, you know, I've gone more Mac in the past 10 years. 10 years ago, I was all Windows. My computer lab here was Windows. My office computer was Windows. My house computer was Windows. For like, I would say 10 years, I was strict Windows from 98 to like to almost 2005, 2006. I think is when I got a Mac.
Why did you go over to the dark side?
I was doing Windows. Well, for one thing, the video editing software, they kind of cut it out of the Mac. 1998, 99, Adobe didn't take Adobe Premiere and make it for the Mac. It was Windows only for like 2 or 3 years. And so if you wanted to edit video on the Mac, you had to use MacBook Pro, you had to use the Final Cut. And so, you know, things like that. So, you know, you can jump back and forth. You can jump back and forth. Okay, let's get the MacBook Pro. Let's see what kind of hard drive. What do I want? So if I go here, it's going to ask me some questions. I'm going to say buy right here where it says buy. So again, I click MacBook Pro, and I'm going to go to where it says buy right here. Why do I go to buy? Well, it's going to start asking me questions. Then you can make decisions, and you can adjust the parts, and then you might not know all the parts yet. We'll talk a little bit more in detail. I got some videos we watch. You know why is it better to i7, i5, and so on. So we'll get to that point. Today we're just doing basic. Okay. Again, when you make a MacBook Pro, you got your choice between 13 and 15 inch. I'm gonna go with a bigger size. I like to see a bigger screen. My eyes are getting old. I don't see very well. I need at least a 15-inch monitor. Yes. When I scroll on down, you'll see it starts asking me some questions. What color you want? Do you want the light gray? You want the space age gray? Do you want the touch bar? ID touch? Okay, then we start getting some information here. It tells you a little bit of price. You get some memory stuff and all that. But if you want, you can customize that even more if you say select. So if you hit select here, it should give you the option of customizing. Here we go. So once I hit select, I can start scrolling down. So the first thing, it has processor in there. So, let's get back to our table. So let's get back to our table before we go. I'm going to go back to my table. I'm going to go back to Word. And what did I say we're going to do? 15-inch. 15-inch. That's all. I mean, what more can we say? Oh, we might say space age gray. What was it? Space gray. I think it was space gray. That's it. Whatever.
Call it gray.
Or gray, whatever. I think they called it space gray. Okay, and then what was the first option? Was processor, right? Processor. Processor. And we can go back to and I'm going to click in here. Let's go see what they got here. So let's see processor. So here we go. We have a 2.6 gigahertz, 6-core, 8th generation Intel Core i7 processor with a turbo boost up to 4.3 gigahertz. If you don't know what any of those words mean, it's okay. We're going to watch some videos that explain them to us. Okay, we got some nice videos, and you can watch them now if you want. They're all the videos are linked there on Canvas. You can click on them. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not going to do that now. We'll get to it next class. But we'll learn about them. So why would I? Ooh, they got an Intel Core i9 processor. I have never seen an i9. Anybody heard of the i9 yet? Coming out a little bit. There is a website that Intel puts out that explains all their processors to you. We'll link that. But it's a really confusing website. You know which one I'm talking about probably. It has all the list of all their processors and all the little details in them. It's a whole bunch of, I mean, it's for engineers. But at least, you know, I'm still doing videos, but I'm not doing Hollywood, right? I might shoot at 4K and edit 4K, but you know the i7 is good enough. I'm going to leave this alone. So I might say, well, how do I get that in there? Well, you can copy and paste from the website. Here we go. Oh, this is fine. I'm going to highlight the text. I hold my left mouse down. I drag over top of it. Hold my left mouse down. Drag over top. What is keyboard command for copy? Command C, right? And if I'm a Windows user like some of us are, it would be Control C, right? Okay, I'm going to go back to my Word, And I'm going to click in this box and I'm going to hit Command V. There it is. Oh, no, not there. I'm sorry. We're down here. Look at that. Made a mistake. Whoosh. Oh, what can I do? Undo. Remember the undo? It's this one over here. Boom. I wanted to paste in there. Command V. Boom. Uh-oh. What else is wrong? The font has changed. Remember, when you copy and paste, it might bring stuff over. So what should I do instead of just copying and pasting? Paste special, right? So if you paste special, you can, so I'm going to undo that as well. This time I'm going to do the paste special, which is this one, text only, keep text only. I think it's Command Shift V, right? I think the Shift is for paste special. It's this one right here. Boom. Now it takes on. So remember, when you copying and paste, in the paste option, you can use paste special to keep your formatting in your thing. Remember, this is what? Times. This is a serif font, right? So it's really small text. Remember, if you need more space in your paper, which one am I going to choose? Want more space? More pages? What was the big font? The really big one? Verdana. Verdana. Woo! Big, huge font. You can turn a 7-page paper into an 8-page paper really easily just by converting to Verdana. It's under the last one. No, not that one. Well, you can use that unformatted text. Did you get the text? The last, this one. Keeps text only. The format, so the font is the same. You don't want to change the font. If you do the first one, it'll take the font from the previous one and put it over there. You want this one, okay? Yeah. Okay, let's do one or two more and we'll take a little break if you want. I'm getting thirsty and I need to go get some water. Okay, let's go back and look at our website again. Oh, here we go. Memory. What's this? This is RAM. RAM stands for what? Random access memory. So what does that mean? Well, when you're running your computer and you're running a piece of software, it needs to be stored somewhere for the computer to be able to use it. And so they store it in this thing called RAM. And the more RAM you have, the more software you can load at the same time, the faster your system's going to run. Is it worth the $400 for 32 gigabytes compared to 16?
No.
It depends, right? Run a SQL. Depends on what you're running, right? Yes. It's a very process-intensive database kind of thing. Maybe you need more RAM. Okay, so I have 16 gigabytes on my laptop and it works just fine. I'm going to stick with that. Again, how do I copy that? And then look at this. This is how fast it is. When we measure clock speed, there's going to be a term clock speed. It's usually measured megahertz. Megahertz. Okay. We'll watch a video on that as well. So I'm going to highlight this. Copy. Remember back in Word. This was what? RAM, R-A-M. And we're going to hit paste. Keep text only. Boom. Okay, let's save our file before it blows up and we have to start over. I guess we're not on a Windows computer, so we don't have to worry about that too much, right? Whoosh. Can we take a little break? I need to go to the little boys' room. How about that? Oh, crap. Let's take like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Come back and we'll finish some of this. And we'll talk about stuff, and then we'll go. I got a meeting anyway. 2:30. learn a little bit next class about more of the parts and stuff, and then we'll come back. It'd be easier for us to pick and choose the part that you think is appropriate when we know more about them. So let's just do quickly the Windows Surface Pro just to jump to there, just to see a little bit of difference. Then we'll get into whatever's on Canvas that we need to do this week as well. So quickly, I'm going to leave the Apple website for right now. But whoa, before I leave this website, what should I do? Cite My Source, right? So this is the link. You should take this and put it in your works site, or at least copy and paste that somewhere so that you can put it in the Easy Bib, right? Remember the Easy Bib? We'll do that. Yeah, okay. So you don't have to do that right now, but you should keep the link. No, you should keep the link, right? See the link at the top, right? Because that's what you're citing in your bibliography and your works cited, right? You're doing that. Okay, so again, we're gonna go to. Let me just go to Google and type in. What are we doing? Windows Surface Pro. And then we're going to go to Microsoft's website right here. There is a link. The first link here looks like Microsoft Store. There we go. Okay. So you can start doing some research on your own. I'm going to go with the Pro because, or is it Book 2? Which is probably the best one? Is it the Pro or the Book 2? Which one is more powerful? Which one would I do for video editing? Trying to compare the.
I probably would use either. They make a full-blown one. I think that's a competitor to like the
To the MacBook Pro?
Yeah. To the actual
laptop though?
Well, no, not a laptop.
Oh, okay.
Laptop, yeah, just go with the Surface Pro.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go with the Surface Pro for right now. Okay, so let's go with the Surface Pro. No, I don't want your mailing list. Okay, here we go. Surface Pro newest. It's only $7.99. How much was the Mac one?
Well, no, you can pull. No, that's a M3. You can pull it down.
I know. I'm trying to make a point here. They're gonna give you this little. Hey, look at that. Does this even have a keyboard?
It does not come with one.
It doesn't even come with a keyboard. Wow. Okay, so I don't know. It's only got 3 stars out of 5 on the Microsoft website. You would think that they would be able to fudge the stars to make it sound like they got better stars. Don't you think so? Did you hear about who was doing that? Amazon was doing that, right? Was it Amazon? Yeah, Amazon just got busted doing that, selling stars or something like that. I think it was Amazon. One of them just got busted selling stars. You want a higher ranking, you can, they were removing bad comments, and you give them money, they'll give you the higher comments. Was it Google? No, I thought it was Amazon. Okay, let's just move on. Okay, here I'm gonna go and let's look around. We want one with a keyboard. We want, I don't know. I might go with a Dell, I guess, or what's another laptop? Lenovo. I don't know. This is probably not the best to compare here, but whatever. Let's go with the pull down menu here. Here we go. Let's see what's under here. This is all they have? Oh, they got an i5 256. It scrolls up. No, I don't want to chat. Oh, it scrolls up. Boy, their website doesn't work with an Apple. Okay, let's choose. Let's go with that. Is it doing anything? Let me try again. No? How about this? Oh, I don't want to do that. Really? Their website isn't very good, that's for sure. Probably must be running off a Windows server.
Oh, it's definitely IS. Probably Windows 7. Hey, what server are you using? Firefox?
Yeah, maybe I should be using Chrome. Yeah, I can't even get down. I'm here. Look, I'm clicking right there. Look, nothing. I'm gonna have to use Chrome. I don't know what I'm gonna do at this point. I'm gonna have to use. I don't know. It's not changing anything here. The browser's not working very well. Nothing. Jeez, really?
Yeah. I have issues with the Microsoft site sometimes when I'm not using Edge or IE.
Oh yeah, the Microsoft one is like Edge.
Yeah, I don't like Edge at all. It's
Edge is just Internet Explorer 2.
Good way to put it.
Oh, here's a Dell laptop.
I'm sorry, the Dell sucks.
Or what is it? Is this a Surface? Oh, these are all Dell. Oh, here's a Surface Pro right here. Oh, this one looks like a Mac. Look at this. Microsoft Surface Book 2.
That's why I love it.
Meet Surface Book 2. Powerhouse performance. Look at that. Experience up to 4 times more power than before and up to 17 hours of battery life. Blazing graphics now comes in 2 sizes, 15 or 13-inch pixel sense display. So if you remember with the Mac one, we were doing what, 15-inch? So I might compare one that's 15-inch, right? You know, maybe. So let's see. How do I choose that? Where am I at? Where is 15-inch? Here we go. Here it is. Configure. Here we go. Let's look. So they have a processor here. We get the i5 processor with dual core performance. What happened to quad core? Don't I even have a quad core here?
You can scroll down and get more.
Oh, here's a quad core. There we go.
Oh, that's good.
I got a but this is the 13-inch. I want the 15-inch. Oh, here it is. 15-inch with i7 processor with quad core. This is compatible to the Apple one, right? That one that came with the MacBook Pro. And this has at least, I would want at least 212 gigabyte hard drive, right? At least. And then, yeah. Okay, so we can, oh, here's a 1 terabyte. What did my Mac, oh, we didn't get the hard drive, did we? Okay, well, let's just say we got this one. And then we go over here. Do you want Windows, do you want Office to go? We get the student version for what? Free though, can't we? Right? West Valley gives you free. I'd probably get some of these adapters if I need them. We'll go over those next class and so on. So again, we don't have to go over them, and so it's almost 2 o'clock already. So let's get to Canvas. You get the idea of how I want you to do some research. Next class we'll go over RAM and stuff. In fact, let's go over some of the parts right now. Let's go through some of the stuff on the website.